Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video, I react to the College Football 25 gameplay deep dive trailer. I'm excited for this one. I had a lot of fun in this one, talking about everything new gameplay wise coming to College Football 25. If you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and why not hit that bell to see more of my content that I show y'all every day. Hope y'all all have had a good day so far. Hope you keep having a good day, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Alright, here we go. College Football 25 releasing in just under 2 weeks, and I got some trailers to react to. The first one is the gameplay deep dive trailer. I'm excited for this. I'm going to start off with this one today, do the sights and sounds on Friday. Next Wednesday, go over the Dynasty mode. And then on the 19th, next Friday, will be the first ever gameplay of College Football 25 that I will release to you guys on my channel. I'm excited for this one, for these trailers, to get to react to them, to talk to y'all about what I think about them, and then I'm excited for next Friday. But without further ado, we are going to hop right into this and react to the gameplay deep dive trailer and everything coming to College Football 25. Let's get going, baby.
Today's focus is on the exciting
we got Kirk Herbstreit talking to us about each thing.
Wear and tear system, player abilities, home field advantage, unique playbooks.
So these are the four main things that are going to be talked about in this video. Wear and tear, it's going to be about the injuries and how the game is going to kind of deal with injuries. Something that's a little new. Madden, there's injuries and you have to deal with them when you get injured or somebody gets injured. But in this one, the mechanic for it now is a lot different, and it's vastly improved in my opinion from Madden's version. Player abilities, that's the same. The top 100 players get player abilities. I don't think it's mentioned in this. I don't think it's mentioned in the other two. One of the next couple of trailers, I will kind of mention it. If it's not, I don't think it is. I think it's talked about in the most recent trailer that got released, which is like an actual video of them playing a game. I'm not going to show that one just because there's too many things for me to kind of go over in just the 2 weeks. We got home field advantage. This is a little different. This is major for college football because of all the different power schools that have crazy home field advantage scenarios. And then unique playbooks. There's 32 playbooks in Madden because there's 32 teams. Every playbook in that's kind of unique. There's some differences, some similarities. But in this one, there's 200 something. Every playbook in this one, for the most part, some similarities and differences, or some similarities. There's a lot of differences because a lot of schools do different things. They run different formations. They either throw the ball a lot, they run the ball a lot. It's just crazy, and I'm excited to kind of go through them with you. First, we're going to listen to how the wear and tear works. Here we go.
And a host of new mechanics that deliver the explosive, fast-paced
and just mechanics like this where you can hurdle someone, making the game cooler. So wear and tear.
Every snap. Wear and tear is a progressive player health system.
So this is one part that it looks to, and your players can get injured now in multiple areas. In Madden, you really could only get injured in one spot, and then either you're playing still or you're out. In College Football 25, it's a lot different, and this is just one step to it that I think is awesome, to be honest.
That prioritizes strategic substitutions and diverse play calling to keep your players healthy.
So you saw in the first part where I paused it, you could see the different injuries. And now when it goes to the substitutions, if certain players got certain injuries, it's going to affect them and how they play during that game. And not only the game, but if you're doing Dynasty mode this season, or if you're doing some other kind of mode where you're in a season variation where you're playing multiple games, it's going to affect them now. Just not that game, but also for the whole season. And it makes it really interesting. You're going to have to actually be able to know who to put in, when to put in, how injured they are, and when to keep them out. If they're really injured, is it worth it putting your best wide receiver in a spot where he could get injured to win the game? It's going to be that type of a deal.
With wear and tear, every hit matters, but not all hits have the same impact. And a single hit, like a blow to a quarterback's throwing arm, can change everything. just like it can in real life. Every hit scales differently
Well,
and will
let's
have
go for a second.
unique effects on a
So we're going to pause this for a second. So like Kirk said, every hit's different. So you could have a hit that, for a quarterback, maybe, is he a quarterback? No, he's a tight end. Top guy's a quarterback. So like Ewers, the Texas quarterback, you could have a hit on him where he lands on his shoulder. Now he has a bum shoulder. For Taylor, for tight end, for receiving, he could have a leg injury that now it slows him down on rounds. Same thing for a halfback. You could hurt your foot, and now it slows you down on your running. For wide receivers, like, you could hurt your chest, and now if you get hit in the chest, it kind of slows you down. Maybe you get the wind knocked out of you. So stuff like that, it's going to change how fast this game, or the game in real life, is. A lot of people love college football over Madden because of not only how many teams there are, like team schools, whatever you want to call them, not only how many there are, but how fast it is and how big some of the hits can be at times. You think Madden is for the bigger hits, but college football has a lot of big hits because these guys move a lot quicker. The game's a lot more fast-paced, and this is just one key area where it really shows it.
Players' performance as damage
and stuff like this, like as the quarterback, if you got a bum shoulder, that throw doesn't get there because you got a bum shoulder, or you can't make it around a route because you got a bum leg, stuff like that.
College Football25, we're introducing both.
So now we're going through player abilities, and I'm just gonna recap on the wear and tear. I love it. I think it's gonna be really creative for the game, and just like I said, things like this play. If your halfback has a bum foot, maybe you want the run and go left, and normally you'd be able to get around the backs in the backfield, but now with that bum knee or bum ankle, now you can't get all the way to the sideline, so now you don't get a touchdown. Stuff like that. The quarterback not being able to make a throw with a bum shoulder, or throwing it less powerful, I guess, because he has a bum shoulder. I think all these type of things that can legitimately, they can affect every person differently, and I think it's going to add a layer to the game that in Madden you do not see. Now, going into, I'm going to pull us back. So going to player abilities.
It helps separate highly skilled players
from
untested freshmen. In contrast to the pros, where
I don't think it talks about it.
Is generally balanced across the league. The player abilities in college were designed to showcase the overall discrepancy in player and team skill level. Physical abilities boost attributes like breaking tackles, or can provide protection from wear and tear.
So, actually, I let that go because I want to. We're going to let this go fully, and I'm going to talk about it because there's a couple things that I want to go over.
And staying calm under pressure. Here you can see the stadium pulse meter.
Alright, so we're going to hold it for a second. I'm going to rewind that. So when it comes to the player abilities, though, like it said, every person, and I don't think this is mentioned, but I'm pretty sure based off of the recent trailer that got released that I'm not going to go over, I think it's the top 100 players from last year's game are going to be going to be given these abilities. So whether it's like field general for a quarterback, or it's be able to get more interceptions, or run faster, or get separation better. There's going to be a lot of things going on with the game because there's so many player abilities that now have to be changed and have to be kind of custom to college football. You're not going to see some of these player abilities, and I kind of want to see if I can find it. So like sidestepping, that's in Madden. But with college football, there's a lot of players that now can be explosive and fast. Madden, it's more of explosive. You don't really see, of course there's some fast running backs, but you don't see fast and explosive. In college football, you're going to get players being a lot more faster, be able to move, and this is what I was looking for. Just all these kind of crazy things. Punchers might have it. Kickers could have it. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, halfbacks, tight ends, defensive players like linemen. There are a whole bunch of different things going into this game because there's so many teams. And one of the things it touched on, which I kind of didn't think about, is when it comes to the power schools, when you're watching a real game, if you see a game where it's like Alabama and University of Alabama Albany, UAB, I think that's what the school is named. You can see a big discrepancy, or even like Alabama and some of the like lower schools. You can see a disparity in the team skill. That's kind of that's going to be also at the forefront, not only the player skill but the team skill, and will be really interesting. Now we're going to kind of go over a little bit of the home field advantage, or I guess it's still player ability.
Here you can see the stadium pulse meter is maxed out, but the visiting quarterback does not have the mental ability, headstrong, which provides resistance to distractions.
So in here we can see home crowd can have a huge difference on the offense. We've seen this in Madden, but it's going to be a little different within College Football 25 because of the difference in all the kind of home field advantage scenarios. So a lot of these schools that have significant home field advantage are going to kind of have different effects on the quarterback, or different effects on halfback, wide receiver, whoever it may be. They're going to have a lot more different effects now, and whether it's not being able to stay composed,
the visiting quarterback
or
here does have headstrong active, so he can see the field more clearly and will be less prone to mistakes for this play.
Or having mistakes like that
was.
was.
Have up to 8 abilities, and they can scale in effectiveness, providing situational advantages throughout a game that ignite the dynamic and unpredictable moments that make college football so exciting. From Tiger Stadium.
Yeah. So I'm going to pause for 2 seconds. I just want to go over the abilities real quick. I think this is cool. It's something in Madden we've seen. Most games like NHL I play on my channel, they have abilities. But I think it'll be really interesting with college football because there's so many schools and they have to cover so many players. It will be really interesting. Some schools might have one person, some have 3 or 4, some might have none. It all depends, and again, I'm pretty sure it goes based off of the top 100 players. I'm not fully confident, but that's what I've been hearing recently within EA Sports, the videos and everything I've seen on social media that can have a huge effect on abilities, and it's exciting. It looks cool. It looks like it'll definitely change up the game, and for what normally is, like I've said, a fast-paced game should make it fast-paced in the game also. This one now, home field advantage. I'm excited for this one.
The sights and sounds of the most iconic and daunting home field environments right into your living room. And with home field advantage, the host team has the upper hand. As the visiting team, you'll face various degrees of home field advantages impacting confidence and composure levels, on-field performance, and more. Home field advantage will disorient players with lower composure levels.
So I'm gonna pause here for a second. So as it talks about how it can how you can kind of, if you're the home team, disrupt the offense. It looks like, and I didn't even realize this when I watched it the first time, didn't hear this part of what he said. It looks like you can actually, if you're the home team and if you're doing really good, if the fans are really into it, you can disrupt specific players. I didn't even realize that. I thought you kind of disrupt, maybe besides the quarterback, I thought you kind of just disrupted the offense overall. I didn't realize that it looks like if you have a quarterback and one wide receiver that folds under pressure, they might get affected a lot worse than maybe your third wide receiver or your tight end that is a little more composed. That should really bring a new layer to the game that I honestly don't think I've ever seen, not in Madden. This is something in Madden, it affects the quarterback, and then I think that's it realistically. And this should be really cool. You saw kind of it affecting different things also with the routes.
More than it will for the level-headed players. Decisions like audibles and hot routes will become more difficult because these stadiums will be rocking. So it's more important than ever to keep your team in manageable down and distance situations. With 100
And you can kind of see, so let's go, because I think he's going to talk about it right now.
34 FBS teams to choose from in EA Sports College Football.
Oh, only 134. I was wrong, not 200 something.
Is something you can't experience anywhere else. From wide splits in Oklahoma to the triple option at Air Force.
Here, we're going to pause for 2 seconds. I want to go back. So, and talk about the like this part. So, like, you can see here, I'm going to run it. You can see here, unlike Madden, this is something, there was one specific moment from Penn State, and I want to say with Michigan. I think it's last year's season or the year before, when Michigan started out, I think it was Michigan. They started out with the ball and couldn't even get the snap off on the very first down of the game because Penn State's crowd was so crazy and so loud. You can see here your game is going to shake. That is something that is really different to the game that I don't think in Madden I've ever seen, and I'm really excited to be able to do that. And depending who you use, it's going to be a whole lot crazier. So we're now going to go back here. I'm going to kind of go back to, now we're getting into kind of the playbooks. And so I just want to wrap up what I was talking about with the home field advantage. Some of these schools are going to be absolutely crazy, and when it comes to the Sights and Sounds trailer, that will have a lot more in-depth talking about or talking points about the like home field advantage even more a little bit, because it kind of impacts that also. But there's, when it comes to home field advantage, it's going to be absolutely crazy. It shows in the Sight and Sounds, and you'll see what I'm talking about on Friday with that video. But depending on the school you pick, a school like Penn State, a school like Notre Dame, Michigan, some of these places that their crowd is involved at all times, it's going to be really hard to play in that stadium. And it should make for a really fun atmosphere for anybody that loves the college football atmosphere. Maybe not for like the drunk students or the drunk dads out there, but it definitely, there's things going into it this year that are different from Madden, and I've honestly, I think, done a lot better when it comes to home field advantage specifically. So now we're going to go over the unique play styles here, and you have all these different play styles.
In Oklahoma to the triple option at Air Force, to Michigan's dominant ground game, the playbook variety makes for unique matchups every game.
And we're pause it. So there's just three. Those are three things from specific schools that have a certain type of offense they run. Notre Dame has a certain offense they run. There's like Clemson has. A lot of these schools that have a powerful offense. Maybe it's spread action, it's shotgun, it's I formation. It's passing all the time, like heavily passing, heavily running. It's going to make it very interesting to kind of, if you've seen a lot of schools play, you might have an ability now to defend more options at once versus only seeing a couple schools. You might not know what some schools do.
Fake out your rivals with new user reverse handoffs.
So we got,
explore the new option game and other new trick plays.
So this is something I want to kind of stop on that isn't talked about in any of these trailers. It's something I actually learned from another trailer, from a short video I saw on YouTube. It wasn't even a trailer, actually. It was just a YouTube video I saw. The way you pitch, there's going to be different ways now you pitch. You can do the normal fake pitch, which the quarterback just takes it. You can do two other versions. A soft pitch, which typically, from what I learned, it's going to go right to the halfback, but it's not going to lead him. It's going to give the halfback more time to catch the ball. It's kind of going to go up toward his chest, maybe, stuff like that. And then there's the direct pitch, which is harder. It's going to lead the running back more to the ball. So just small things like that with the playbook. They added small things to make the game more unique, to make the playbooks more unique, and I think it's great.
explore the new option game and other new trick plays.
I mean, all these trick plays.
With more teams throwing the ball all over the field, College Football 25's revamped passing mechanic adds control and variation to every dropback. To expand player variation at quarterback, we focused on tuning situational throws and an array of new trajectories that will provide more passing control with a timed button press.
So I'm going to say pause it here. So we see, I want to try and can I get back to that? Oh, there I can. There we go. So you can see with like this type of a thing, in Madden, you don't see this that much. You don't see quarterback. I mean, you see it with like players like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. I'm forgetting some players' names all of a sudden. You don't really see though in most of the quarterbacks the kind of like randomness and panicked throwing style that you could see sometimes within college football games. This now is going to add a layer to that where it's going to make it almost like the quarterback has a mind of its own, where you can do all these different throws to get it off last second if you need to, and it should, besides like the basic throwing, it should add some depth to the game now that for the quarterback will make it very interesting to try and get a ball off.
Mechanics will give you more control before and after the snap. Adjust the length of your primary route with custom stems. Switch players directionally with the new switch stick for post-snap control. Master the new kicking meter and call...
Oh, actually, then brought up the kicking meter. I wanted to talk about this. I want to go about this. Besides the passing is kind of big. Like in Madden, you can change routes, you can change where people are going. That's not much different. Kind of the way you do it might be a little different. This though is different. The way you kick, instead of Madden, where you like move the arrow and you just hold the hit A to get it on that line, and then you hit it again for power. This time, which I honestly don't know. I think this might make kicking a lot more harder. And this one, you gotta hit it twice. You gotta somehow make it so that you get as close to the green, or depending on where like your ball is, like as close to accurate as possible. With this meter, it's gonna go left to right, and then also with the power meter, which is that arrow, you're gonna have to stop the power meter, I guess, if you want to call it that, for the kicking. That's nothing huge, like major to talk about. I just kind of wanted to point that out to you guys. I think it's really interesting. I don't remember what it was like in NCAA 14. It was not like this. I don't remember it being like this. And I feel like for some people, we're going to miss kicks when we start playing at first, just based off the fact that maybe we haven't seen something like this for a while. Madden doesn't use it. I honestly don't know what game out there uses this like system that I've played, or mechanic that I've played like within the past 10 years, to be honest. So it should be interesting.
Meter and call a number of new hot routes at the
But we got hot routes now. You can
For
change.
More on gameplay and playbooks, check out the Campus Huddle blog.
But that's pretty much pretty much it though on that one.
To make it game day,
I'm gonna pause it. So that's pretty much it there. So again, that was the gameplay deep dive trailer on which looked really interesting. This game, from a lot of standpoints, should be really fun. If you like college football, and you like football games, if you like college football and you like football games, I highly suggest you get this game. It should be really fun to play. On Friday, I'm going to go over the College Football 25 Sights and Sounds trailer. I don't know where it is. It's right here. Let me go back. We're going to go over the Sights and Sounds trailer. Next Wednesday, again, like I said, we're going to go over the Dynasty trailer. And then next Friday, I'm bringing y'all my first live gameplay of the game next Friday when it releases, because I'll have it by then. Or I'm gonna make sure I get it when it releases. But trailer wise, that is pretty much it for the gameplay. Hope y'all liked it. Comment down below what you guys find is the best part about this trailer, what you're most excited for. With that being said and done, that's what I meant to say. With that being said and done, we'll see you next time.